G'day crew, and welcome to the final segment on this multi-part live bait video. In this video I'm going to talk about getting really cheap sabiki rigs. The cheapest rigs that I've seen in the local tackle shops are about $4 each. I haven't seen anything cheaper than that, but I can buy these on Amazon and I make 3 rigs out of 2, and that comes up to just over $1 each for the rigs. They're cheap as chips. So I've used a lot of different sabiki rigs. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like. These are the latest ones I've been using. They're a heavier line than I generally like to use. It's a 34 pound main line and a 25 pound branch. But they're working fine, they're catching plenty of fish, and they're very cheap, which is a bonus because you get a tangle in a sabiki rig, you can toss it in the bin. I've had one decky that went through 3 sabiki rigs through over-energetic jigging just in one trip, and I think they were $5 or $6 sabiki rigs, so I wasn't terribly impressed. But these ones are under $2, and the only thing that's wrong with them really is they're too long for my rod. So what I do is I cut them in half and I make 3 sabikis out of 2, which brings them down to about $1 each. Now that means that instead of having 6 hooks on a sabiki rig, I've only got 4, but that's fine because very seldom do you bring up more than 4 fish on a rig at a time. So to do this, I'll take the bottom hook off this one, say. So that's the one with the snap swivel on it for putting your sinker on. And I'll take 2 hooks off of it. Alright, that's it with our 2 hooks. Take the length between the hooks where the dropper loops are tied, there and there. Bring it around and cut that in half. So what we need to do then is to put another snap swivel on this line here. So I'll put that aside for the snap swivel after. One out, and this time we're going to take the top end off this one. So the one that's just got the swivel on it. And we'll take 2 hooks off him as well. Like that. And again, the distance between the 2 branches, and cut him in half. And put that one aside as well. We take these 2 that we've got here, and we'll use a double uni knot to join them in the middle. Hope everyone knows how to do a double uni knot. If not, there's plenty of tutorials on Google showing you how to do it. Because it's such a thick line, I'm only going to do 3 loops on it. Moisten it, make it down a little bit, and then do the other one. The thinner the line, the more loops you need to do on your uni knots. For this really heavy line, it's over 1/2 millimetre thick. I think 3 is plenty. And it's not going to have much drag on it because I'm using an 8 pound line on my sabiki rod, so I've only got maybe 2 pounds of drag on it. Okay, and then snug them down and cinch them down really tight. So many odds and ends on a sabiki rig, you probably don't need to trim these, but I do anyway, just as a matter of neatness. And once I've trimmed them, I protect the main knot with my fingers and just mushroom the end. The tag ends, just in case it slips, the mushroom will stop it coming all the way undone. Yeah, that's got that one done. Alright, before we go too far, I'll put him away. Well, I was going to put it around a piece of cardboard, but as it turns out I don't have any, so I'm going to use this pool noodle, starting at the bottom end of it. Pool noodles are great for keeping your fishing gear on, but the reason I don't like them is they take up more room than a piece of wrapping around a bit of cardboard. But they do work, and when I had extra room I was using them. As you can see, this pool noodle's been used. But anyway, it's getting used again now. So when I'm wrapping it, I just poke the hooks into the pool noodle just to keep them safe. Got to be careful that you don't end up hooking yourself by accident, because these hooks are razor sharp and they've got a little barb on them, and I can tell you, if you get them in yourself, the only way to get them out is to pull that barb out. If it was a big hook, you might consider pushing it all the way through and cutting the barb off, but a little hook, I think it's just as easy to pull the barb back out. I've had littler hooks go in that I've had to pull out, and yeah, not pleasant, I can tell you. I've split this pool noodle down one side so that I can poke that through there like that, and it just holds the line from unravelling. The other end, the bottom end, is in there, So that'll keep everything nice and secure. I'll put it in the plastic bag as well, just in case it does unravel. Don't want it getting hooked into anything. And I'll make sure I use this one next, because the one that's wrapped in the cardboard is easier storage. Okay, that's it. That's prepared Sabiki rigs. I got one on my rod and 2 spares. That's more than enough for any trip. Probably only need the one on the rod, but it's always best to have a spare ready to go. There's still the other 2 rigs that we cut that have to be dealt with, and all we need to do for them is to put a swivel on the end of one and the snap swivel on the end of the other, so that we've got a swivel and a snap swivel on each one, and then they're ready to use. You can make your own Sabiki rigs from scratch. I have done that. It's quite a rewarding thing to do, but for the price of this rig, I find it's great. Get yourself some live bait and get some bigger and better fish for it. Until next time, good fishing.